This is your news source evening bulletin for today, Friday, the 7th day of May in the year 2021. I'm Gordon Mosley. Here's what we're tracking tonight. While noting that a countrywide vaccination rollout has been going smoothly, President Irfan Ali has expressed worry about the reluctance from persons in regions 8 and 10 to take the COVID-19 jab.
In every single administrative region, we would have had coverage of between 30 to 36% of population above 18 years old, with the exception of region 8 and 10. So in two regions, we are not having this coverage. Particularly in the case of region 10, only 8.9% of the population above 18 years took the first dose of the vaccine to date. This is very concerning, this is very alarming.
The president made a statement in an address last evening, and he said persons in Region 10 need to understand the seriousness of the virus and also recognize that their region is the gateway to the interior, which borders Brazil, and the likelihood of the borders being breached is a challenge his administration is facing. Region 10 has the lowest vaccination rate in the country.
We are therefore very concerned about the low acceptance level of the first dose in region 10. I therefore continue to appeal to every Guyanese that, though not mandatory at this stage, taking the vaccine is the best option we have to save lives and exit the pandemic.
So far, more than 154,000 persons have taken the first dose of the COVID-19 vaccine, accounting for 31% of the adult population in Guyana. In terms of age range, 61% of those persons who took the vaccines are above the age of 60, while 29% who took the vaccines are between the ages of 40 and 59, and 21% are between the ages of 18 and 39. The president is once again calling on Guyanese, especially the younger population, to get vaccinated.
I want to take this opportunity to call upon all our young people to go out there and get vaccinated, to ensure that they take this very seriously. Not taking this seriously put at risk your families, put at risk your friends, your community, and your country.
President Ali said his administration will continue sensitizing the public with hopes of the buy-in of the majority of citizens to take the COVID-19 vaccine. Guyana continues to record a spike in COVID-19 cases across the country. More news coming up in just a moment.
Guyana, we've been through it all.
But as a people we have
weathered every storm
and risen to every challenge.
Because it is the people of Guyana
that gives it its strength.
all the people,
regardless of race,
class, or religion.
we are one people, one strength.
And now is our time. A time to rise. Together, we rise.
Farfan and Mendez Group of Companies are committed to promoting development through quality service and integrity. We offer our customers genuine products, reliability, and excellence in service. Our corporate head office at Providence affords you the added convenience of a spacious showroom with secured parking. At Farfan and Mendez, we continue to offer our customers a wide range of genuine and affordable German-engineered equipment. We also offer clean, green alternative energy solutions with our industry-leading brands of solar equipment. So, visit our new showroom at Providence and enjoy the service of our efficient and courteous staff. Farfan and Mendez, offering you solutions you can depend on.
Me name Radhika, right? And me just get my COVID-19 vaccine. Me turn rich and me take my COVID-19 vaccine, right? And me want to encourage everybody out there to come and take your COVID-19 vaccine, because COVID-19 not discrimination, you know. anybody can get them, no matter what race you be, no matter what color you be, even matter what gender you be, anybody can get COVID-19. So I come and I take your vaccine them because it's very important for take it. But remember that when you take your vaccine, that doesn't mean that you can just stop wear your mask and stop sanitizing and say you still got to take all the precautions. Nothing is 100% foolproof, but the vaccine is important for how you take. Here, Ranika says so.
Mobile One is more than oil. It's many oils. It transforms at the molecular level. When cold, it's thicker than honey. When hot, it's thinner than water. Mobile One adapts and readapts to last longer. 16,000 kilometers between oil changes. That's your engine evolved.
Guyana is the authorized distributor of mobile lubricants.
At Sash Financial, we create strategies for strengthening business and personal finances while helping our clients to build sustainable wealth. Our financial and business consultancy services are uniquely tailored to ensure every client receives quality packages and optimal results. Our financial services include financial reporting and analysis, financial status assessment, internal audits, bookkeeping and records management, financial planning advice, tax returns. Our business advisory services are related to business plans, business startups, operational improvement, business management, document preparation, procedures development, efficient marketing. Call or WhatsApp us today for your free consultation on telephone number 592-665-6045. Sash Financial, strengthening businesses, building wealth.
We are legions of men standing strong, but never too proud to stoop and help someone. We must send a clear signal to all. Do right, walk in upright ways, knowing that's what being a man is all about. And ever aware that things will only get worse when good men do nothing. Stand strong, be the one to live right.
Mom, what are you doing with GPL on your list?
Child, you forgot I have to pay GPL?
You got time with GPL?
I have to keep these lights on. The customers who think in that manner and refuse to honor their obligation to GPL are obviously not playing their part in ensuring quality service delivery. So, I will continue to pay my GPL bill on time, every time.
I recognize the value of your point, Mom. You were right.
Welcome back. Opposition members of Parliament Christopher Jones and Annette Ferguson were this morning charged for participating in an illegal procession. Ferguson also faced an additional charge for allegedly obstructing a police officer. The two pleaded not guilty to the charges and were released on $20,000 bail each. Opposition leader Joe Harmon was at the court. The opposition APNU-AFC has accused the police of following political directions to go after members of the opposition.
This is really what is happening. The police are acting at the behest of the political administration. The two MPs that you have here, Annette Ferguson, she has a judgment against Jack Dio for $20 million. Christopher Jones has a matter in the High Court against them. Both of them will succeed. And so what they're doing now, they are using the police as a weapon against these MPs. But this is not just about them. It's about all of us. Because what we are seeing here is a sort of the state using terrorism against its own people.
The charges relate to a gathering outside the High Court on the 26th of April that followed the ruling by the Chief Justice on the election petition case. The police said no permission was granted for the gathering or the march that followed. Former President David Granger today said that the government does not appear interested in social cohesion and bringing Guyanese together. Appearing on his weekly public interest program, Mr. Granger suggested that the PP Civic Administration is afraid that it might lose its support, hence the party is restricting the concept of social cohesion.
Nobody's looking after the measures that are needed to bring people together. And I think it's a great pity. Why PPP is against it? Because perhaps they feel that if people are allowed to choose more freely, if people are allowed to mix, if people are allowed to share other opinions, that they would see through the PPP's policies, and they say, well, look, they're not going to offer us any future for my children, and I better not go with the PPP. So they're afraid of losing their support.
The former president also said the actions of the government on several issues shows clearly that it is disinterested in bringing Guyanese together.
So they feel that by restricting or preventing the development of this concept of social cohesion, that they could hold on to a part of the electorate, which is untrue. The electorate is very intelligent, and I think the electorate, regardless of the ethnic origins, will make choices based on their best interests. And by shutting the door to social cohesion, I think the PPP is trying to restrict the choice. I don't think that's good for Guyana.
Granger reminded that one of his first acts as president was to establish a Department of Social Cohesion, and the government's dismantling of that department sends a worrying message about its interest in bringing the people together, he noted.
Why is the PPP opposed to social cohesion from the start? You quoted what one general secretary said, and then the second general secretary made a similar remark. And of course, once they were given the office of government on the 2nd of August 2020, they shut down the Department of Social Cohesion. And it shows the absence of social cohesion. So you cannot leave that to the whims and fancies of individuals. It has to be institutionalized. There has to be a dynamo or an engine, a powerhouse driving social cohesion. It wouldn't happen by itself. And what is happening is we're in a sort of free fall.
The former president, who seems set on seeking re-election as the leader of his party, the People's National Congress, said it is a misstep and mistake on the part of the present administration to not pay attention to social cohesion. President Irfan Ali has clarified remarks that he made during his arrival day address to the nation earlier this week. During that address, the president said every group that came to Guyana did so for improvement and improved living conditions so that successive generations will be better off. The statement drew instant condemnation across social media, as persons reminded the president that the Africans who were brought to Guyana during the slave trade did so against their will and had to endure horrible conditions. The opposition leader yesterday wrote the president directly about his remarks and asking for him to correct the remarks. The correction came hours later. In a message to the nation last evening, the president said he was not and could not have been referring to African ancestors. President Ali said those who felt offended by the way in which the language was structured in his speech have his unreserved regret and assurance that the struggles of enslaved African ancestors would never be understated and unappreciated. The president said his personal and public mission is to reconcile the country after a very divisive period. The Guyana Revenue Authority is pleased with the number of persons who have filed their income tax returns on time. In a statement today, the GRA described the level of compliance this year as extraordinary, especially in light of the COVID-19 pandemic. According to the GRA, in comparison to last year and previous years, the Guyana Revenue Authority has received an astounding number of tax returns filed both manually and electronically. When compared to 2020, there was an increase in compliance of over 100%. Such compliance levels allowed the agency to surpass its budget collections by over $1 billion for the month of April 2021. As of April 30, the agency received 94,189 tax returns at its headquarters and the regional integrated tax offices. More than 4,000 tax returns were submitted electronically. With concerns mounting over the COVID-19 death rate in Guyana, the Minister of Health has made it clear that none of the COVID-19 deaths are related to the vaccines being administered. More than 154,000 persons have received the first dose of the COVID-19 vaccine. A total of 7,000 persons have been fully vaccinated.
As far as I'm aware, I don't think we've had any cases of persons dying after receiving their full dose of vaccination. So that's something that we have been constantly checking. So once you have received your 2 doses, we haven't seen anyone who has received those 2 doses and dying from the infection. So that's a very positive thing.
The health minister is also calling on those persons who have received their first dose of the vaccine to ensure they take the second dose. He said both doses are needed for adequate protection.
We have, however, as we have explained before, there are possibilities that after the first dose of, after your first vaccine, there is still a possibility that people can get infected, and if they get infected, we don't anticipate they will have the severe form of the disease.
Meanwhile, the Ministry of Health is preparing to unveil a major public relations push to get more persons vaccinated, as there is still some level of hesitancy and skepticism about the vaccines.
Persons who are older were also in the risk category. Fortunately, from the vaccinations that we have done so far with first doses, we have seen now that approximately 61-point-something% of the over 60s have received their first dose of the vaccine. So that's a positive. And we hope that the more people would come forward in that age group and get their vaccination. This would be a very protective kind of thing, because then they wouldn't, they wouldn't end up in the hospital because of COVID, or they wouldn't die from COVID.
Vaccination sites have been set up in every region, with mostly hospitals and health centers being used. In the courts, 22-year-old East Rheinfeldt resident Rondell Richards was remanded to jail today after he was charged with the murder of Jamal Adams, also of the East Rheinfeldt area. Adams was stabbed to death 6 days ago during a row over a cell phone. Eyewitnesses reported that after the 2 men got into an argument, Richards stabbed Adams twice to the chest, and as Adams attempted to run away from the area, he was chased by the accused, who stabbed him several more times. In total, the young man was stabbed more than 20 times. The young man collapsed and died at the scene. The assailant escaped from the area but was later arrested. In court today, he was not required to enter a plea to the indictable murder charge. He was remanded to jail and will make his next court appearance later this month.
Hi there, I'm Narissa Pearson, a broadcaster by profession and radio personality on 98.1 Hot FM of NCN. I just received my vaccine, and the process was pretty simple and easy. I will admit I was very nervous. I was very terrified to get a shot. It wasn't about the fact it's a COVID-19 vaccine, but just my fear with getting a vaccine generally since I was a child. But it was a really simple process, and I want to encourage a lot of people out there to get vaccinated. As we continue to cope and deal with COVID-19 and its impact, I firmly believe that we should all take whatever precautions, whatever access we have towards mitigating the spread of this virus, and more so its impact on our lives and our health. So I'm very, very happy to have been vaccinated, and I hope a lot of people out there come and get their vaccines as well. I look forward to getting my second dose on this page so that I can really have a proper defense system against COVID-19.
Fuel it up and drive, Super 95. Tune up. Fuel it up and drive, Super 95. Tune up. Protect your fuel system, boy. High mileage and performance
Oil's Super 95 gasoline gives you more reasons to drive and is available at 56 service stations nationwide. For affordable price, high performance, and high mileage, choose Guyana's Super 95 gasoline.
Fuel it up and drive!
Across the region tonight, in neighboring Brazil, the United Nations Human Rights Office has strongly criticized the police raid against suspected drug traffickers in Rio de Janeiro, amid allegations of abuse and extrajudicial killings. The deadliest police operation in the city's history has left 25 persons dead, including a police officer. Residents say police killed the suspects who wanted to surrender and entered their homes without a warrant. The police have denied any wrongdoing, saying the officers acted in self-defense. Rio de Janeiro is one of Brazil's most violent cities, and vast areas are under the control of criminals, many of them linked to powerful drug trafficking gangs. Security forces are often accused of disproportionate force during their anti-crime operations. In Trinidad and Tobago, with a total of 79 police officers there testing positive for COVID-19 and 481 others in quarantine, police officers are now saying they are fearful of arresting Venezuelan migrants because of the spread of the coronavirus and the Brazilian variant. They say they are uncertain of the migrants' COVID status and do not want to take such a risk at this time. Last Monday, officers of the Southwestern Division appealed to the Police Commissioner Gary Griffith to provide a suitable venue to house migrants. They said it was unsafe to keep the migrants at the Pinal, Fasbad, and Santa Flora and Erin police stations. Over 50 police officers from the division have been on quarantine, and 6 from the Pinal police station tested positive for the virus in April. And finally tonight, international news. The World Health Organization has granted emergency approval for the COVID vaccine made by Chinese company Sinopharm. It is the first vaccine developed by a non-Western country to get WHO backing. The vaccine has already been given to millions of people in China and elsewhere. The World Health Organization had previously only approved the vaccines made by Pfizer, AstraZeneca, Johnson & Johnson, and Moderna. But individual health regulators in various countries, especially the poorer countries in Africa, Latin America, and Asia, have approved the Chinese vaccines for emergency use. With little data released internationally early on, the effectiveness of the various Chinese vaccines has long been uncertain. But the World Health Organization today said it had validated the safety, efficacy, and quality of the Sinopharm vaccine. And that's your News Source Evening Bulletin for tonight. I'm Gordon Mosley, encouraging you to stay safe and wishing you a pleasant rest of the night.